All right, I'm going to talk to you about a different analogy for dealing with underlying eating issues before focusing on weight loss. As of late, I've had two clients who came back to me as coaching after kind of being away for a year and going through the whole COVID process. And it was interesting because both of them acknowledged that through that last year of COVID, there were some issues with emotional eating, boredom eating, binge eating that kind of flared up. And they actually wanted to focus on those versus trying to lose weight. And what I kind of used an analogy because, of course, everybody always feels torn. They're like, well, I'm hiring you, so I should be focusing on losing weight. And I said, no, anytime that you have an eating issue that gets in the way of you actually losing weight, your time is better invested in focusing on those because those will always be there. And if you don't learn how to manage your emotions without food, and if you don't learn how to get your binge eating under control, that will make your weight loss a very miserable experience because it's almost impossible to consistently hit a calorie goal when these two factors are going on, okay? And I used an analogy. I said it's kind of like you want me to lay down railroad tracks. You want, railroad tracks to go from one city to another, but the terrain is horrid. It's this like rocks and lumps and bumps, and it's just all over the place, right? And you're like, but hey, Heather, I got to hurry up and lay down the railroad tracks. I need these results. I need these tracks in place. And I try to explain to you, I can lay down those tracks like you're asking, but if I do it on the terrain the way it is right now, the train's going to break down. It's not going to be very smooth getting to its destination. More than likely, it might jump off the track. And you're like, nope, got to do it. And I'm sitting there telling you, let's just take a couple months, let's clear the ground, let's level the ground, fill in the ground, make it nice and smooth. So when we lay down these tracks, you actually have a pleasant train riding experience. What most people do, they want the results of the train tracks being laid, and they don't care what the terrain looks like. Once you get it, once you see that the terrain impacts how that train track gets laid, and how the train riding experience is going to be in the future, you really want to fix the terrain, okay? And that's what we're talking about. So with the emotional eating, the binge eating, what we have to start to do is acknowledge, one, how often these things are causing you problems, and two, start to actually put other practices in place. Like when we feel an emotion, sitting with it, learning how to be in that little bit of a discomfort with it, having alternate things to do other than eat. If you're binge eating, I have shared with you, I think there's a great resource, the Brain Over Binge Recovery Guide. I think it was published in 2016. I would highly encourage you to check that out. I really like how they present the information of, getting past the urge to binge. This would be another great resource. But I really want you to hear me on this general point. If you really want to lose weight, truly, and you want to keep it off, and you know that every time you feel something, you're putting food in your mouth, or you know that you have a consistent binge eating issue that's happening weekly, those things have to get fixed first before you lay the train track down. Otherwise, you will end up finding you're going to struggle. It's not going to be smooth. And when you want to continue on with your goal, you're going to kind of run into these issues as more emotional things creep into your life. So I just want to encourage you to kind of switch your thinking on this. It's important to lose weight and get healthy, 100%. But if you don't have a good relationship with food and how you deal with emotional stress, things of that nature, it will always be a problem for you. So even if you were to white knuckle it for 6 months and lose weight, which people do, they do it all the time. When it comes to long-term maintaining it, it's going to feel like a rocky road all the time. You're going to have to restrict harsh because you overate harsh. And it's this back and forth yo-yo constantly that I'd hate to see you have to be in because you don't need to do it. You just need to learn some other skills in order to get better with your eating behaviors when you feel strong emotions, anxiety, stress, or whatever, okay? All right, I hope this video is helpful about prioritizing this before weight loss, really making that your focus. And if you like these videos, please like and subscribe. Let me know how I can better help you with the videos here on YouTube, and I will talk to you soon.